All right guys, Shermanator's back. Not that it actually ever left or I quit working on it, but it is outside the shop because it runs and drives and steers, and hydraulics are all working, and she's ready to crush some cars. Got to do some wiring on it, but we're running into an issue, and that is we committed to having this, the cab over, and the F350 and the C10 at Motorama this year, April 29th to May 2nd at the International Center in Toronto. So we're ready to go drive over some cars. V&R's got them ready, lined up for us to go. I don't know if I've got time to do it. One day of us crushing cars is one day that I am not working on there, and it's gonna come down to the last little bit. We do have backups. We've got Phil's cab over is ready to pull the tank there regardless, 100%. You can see this at Motorama. Hopefully our cab over will have all the pieces there and safety alignment done, and we can pull this there. Either way, the F350 and the C10 and hopefully the Silverado, two of those three at least, will be there. I don't know, hopefully we'll see you guys at Motorama. Either way, it's a great episode, so here we go. Episode, you've seen us take care of a bunch of stuff on the Sherman part itself. Put new engine in it, transmission, made hydraulics on it, may go up and down, new seats, new controls.
This is Bigfoot competition here, isn't it?
It is. Mike from MJ Signcraft is actually gonna paint some of our logos on the side. We added an engine, took away some of the front suspension. Hydraulics are working, so I can shift it, turn it, and stop it, and rev it up from the cab now. All right, we got it running. We got a name on the side, so all the big guys that refuse to tag us have no choice but to have our logo on the side. We got Joel and we got Vince. What we're gonna do is get rid of the front frame assembly and open that up so we can close the truck around that 4-cylinder Detroit in front. It's not quite loud enough yet. So got a little bit more L channel from V&R. Thanks V&R. We'll weld that in place, and then we get the steering figured out, and then we can actually take it for a drive. Here we go. Hey, go forward. Didn't expect that. I think it's okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. That's why it's expensive business.
Always clamp your material.
We do this so that they learn by visual.
Exactly.
Yeah. There we go, go down. Yeah, back up and go to the right, yeah. There you go. I think my left brake is sticking. One more thing on the list. Yeah, you got her. Okay, just drop her down. Back on the tank. I put the tank up higher just to get it out of the water. I don't need that filling up and wrecking all my hydraulics because they're getting really expensive. And then the pump, I changed the rotation. Now that we had it running, I can tell that camshaft spins clockwise. looking at the back of it. So you can see the arrow is now pointing down and it should be spinning the proper way. So I got rid of the one long hose and shortened the other hose. That hose was looking pretty punky and that's it laying right there. So I'll fill that up with oil again and then we are ready to fire it up and see if the hydraulics work. If they don't work, I'll be very, very sad. Here we go.
12 seconds later.
Okay, definitely got some oil in there now. And I just took the line off on the far side and oil was dripping out at that level. There's a strainer in there that's about halfway up. So hopefully I can pull the oil through there and we've got working hydraulics. So here we go.
Okay, so I made a simple little bracket there, welded it to my other bracket on a bracket, and that is just the PTO cable.
So I'm gonna secure it to the frame a little bit better, but it'll hinge nicely right there. Up and down, no issues. And then for the front, I basically just put it right onto the column shifter. Oh, you can see the shiny part there. I'll climb up. I gotta grab some lube though because it doesn't move very nice. I'll just soak the snot out of it and then it'll be better. Okay. Made another simple little bracket to drill the hole, sandwich it, got a clevis, we're all set. I'm gonna try some of this spray and stay gel lubricant because that can go into all the nooks and crannies. I'll kind of expand in there. Squeeze that up. If it's running into the floorboards, I have done it properly. Nice. Here we go. Let's try to see how that works. We got reverse. Oh, that's much better. So I only have reverse, neutral, drive, and one more drive. It's awesome. Reverse, that would be neutral, drive, normal drive. So if I pop it back into neutral, and you really have to pull it towards you to get it into reverse. Nice. Let me see if I can get the needle working properly too. Sweet. Okay, so in the last video, I talked about the plunger, hooking that up so that I could have a button to shut the thing off. I forgot though that this is 24 volt. It should shoot in a lot quicker and stronger than that. So I haven't done anything with it. Instead, originally to start it, the previous owner used the e-brake cable to pull the fuel on. I'm just gonna use the e-brake cable to shut it off. If we're up here, if I got the truck up, I'm gonna run the cable along the side there. I just went and bought just some cable and some clamps and then just my bolts. I'll just weld these to the frame and run the cable through. And then if I want to shut the truck off from the outside, just gotta pull the cable like I'm trying to get off a bus, and that'll just pull it and it'll shut the engine off. So yeah, easy peasy. Here we go. Okay, notched the top of the frame so I can mount my steering box. I was thinking of doing the Silverado, but it actually has the pitman arm on the wrong side, bringing it farther out. I gotta have it as far back as possible, so I gotta use the old one. I just gotta figure out how to shorten the shaft and bolt that in the right spot and make it so that it doesn't kink when I turn. And then we've got our steering back. I think this is temporary. I might use the hydraulics later, but for now, this will work and get us ripping again. Okay, so I cut the frame mount out of the old frame because it's got like an indent in it because the back of it's round and it needs to go in the indent there. And this is the angle where I can still hit my steering shaft. I shortened that, as you can see, with a grinder. Now I can weld this solid. The arm still lands kind of in between the V, so I can still pull. And then I might close this in so that looks a little better. That looks like I made the mistake there. I don't make any mistake. That's a happy accident, because now I'll put a nice L in here this way, up, and it'll look
factory. Here we go. Okay, steering's all done. Looks all pretty there. I bought the links for the chains and I'll modify those after I put it back down again and do a couple small touch-up stuff, but steering angle is sharp, but it does work. It's just there's an issue, there's a big giant gaping hole here, and I gotta fill that with something. So last of the L channel from V&R, I'm just gonna butt it up to that I-beam and weld it to this beam in the front, try to keep it somewhat-ish level, and then plunk the 4-cylinder on there and then drop this thing back down, make sure that everything fits that way. And then that'll work out really nice because these will be like this, and they'll put like a heavy bar on the rollers on here for the winch right on the front so it won't cock sideways and run off my winch at the back. We're gonna put a hydraulic motor on the winch running off the pump because the pump's working pretty good. But if need be, I might just measure for a transmission and maybe put a transmission on the back of the 4-cylinder and then just drive it right off the output shaft. Because then I could have 5 speeds on the winch and it wouldn't be going over relief constantly if that's the case. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. One thing at a time, I'm gonna weld the 4-cylinder engine supports in place and we'll go from there. Here we go. Okay, ready to pop this girl in. If you guys don't know, that's the air box, 2-stroke, so the air comes in to on top of your piston there. See the piston? And then the piston covers the hole, and then it turns it into compression, and then it fires it, and then as soon as it goes below that hole, the blower and the turbo push more air in, and it all happens again. We did find the other turbo for it. I think I kind of measured it, that it should fit nicely between. Got this little cart, that this thing is heavy. I can't believe how heavy this stupid engine is. So if we're gonna jump the tank, I'm gonna make it so that we can pull this thing off super quick and easy so that we don't have that extra 3,000 pounds in the front. It's something ridiculous. It's over 2,000 pounds anyway. But anyway, we're gonna boom that in, set that in place, drop the truck over top, and then basically just gonna leave it there for a bit. I still need my turbo drain, just that hose from there to there. A couple other small things, but gasket, I need exhaust gaskets for that thing at the back. But anyway, it's booming in. Here we go. Okay, see if it fits. First time. So far so good. I think I gotta go back. Here, that. Oh, pretty close. The front pulley there. Brake's not gonna hit the turbo. No, we're gonna watch that. Still nothing hitting. Oh, I gotta come ahead. Bugger. I think on the bell housing I might have to drop the engine down here too. Gotta come ahead like 4 inches. So as I stand on my forklift in the middle of the night, contemplating my life decisions, wondering, why do I do this? And then smile and say, I don't know, but it's awesome. Couple things. It fits pretty good, not bad. I think the Hydro Boost is gonna be smaller than the brake. I'm a little bit crooked, so I gotta swing it over a bit. I can still go forward a bit. I can notch that rad support on the bottom a little bit more. And I tried getting that pulley off because it's useless, but I couldn't do that. And I'm gonna drop the whole thing down lower, I think. This is our intake. Basically, if that's underwater, we're in trouble. If that's underwater, then we need to. That's I should be able to drive through my pond because it's about 14. Well, it's about 14 feet. My shop's 16, so about 10. Yeah, it's about 10 feet up. But yeah, if I drop it down, then I might have to get Vince to weld an elbow on here to come straight out. If I put the intake pipe coming through the front here underneath, and I clock my turbo to point down, then I don't have this ugly thing coming straight through over the top of the hood. And this looks like it's square, so I should be able to turn this upper rad housing down. And then I can, somebody had a good idea to just weld the hood back on again, because I have a automatic hood thingy now that it opens up. Then I can build like a little cage for around this for when we do go to trees, because there's no point in knocking that off. And then when we need it, we can just open that up and let that breathe. That'll be handy for when we take it down the road too, because that'll catch air and then it'll spin while we're going down the road, and that takes out the bearing in the turbo. So tomorrow, because it's late at night, I'm going to drop the engine down probably 2 or 3 inches, whatever I can get out of it. And then that's where she's gonna stay. Now this is gonna go in for now. It's gotta go to Motorama. This engine will be in there, but it won't be running. I'm not gonna mess around with this just now because I don't have a hydraulic pump for it anyway. So we're gonna keep going with the F350 and the rest of this truck. I gotta do just a shut off cable. I ran it along the outside yesterday, and that was stupid because it got pinched. So I gotta just notch that a little bit, find a better spot to run it. And then the throttle cable yet, and then maybe brakes. But we're gonna get this thing kind of wrapped up and start crushing some cars. So, oh, there's my welding guns. All right, I was looking for those. Okay, so this is my battery tray welded upside down and is now the throttle actuator for both engines. So this used to be off a bench grinder, I think. Left-hand thread on one side, right-hand thread on the other, and it would have been on a bench with a wire wheel. Bought at a garage sale. Now it does this. So we got the cable coming in right here, which goes to your throttle on the floor. And then this cable threads right into this nut. I still have to test fit everything. But this cable, the Princess Auto cable, will thread right into here and then connect to here. So when I step on it, it lifts up, hopefully it doesn't hit the hood, and pull on the throttle in the back. Now, I'm gonna make another lever right here. That's gonna come down, and basically the throttle linkage for the 4-cylinder is right here. So I'm gonna make it, just so I put a hose clamp or something on the lever. So when the cab comes down, it's going to grab that piece, and when I step on the throttle, it's gonna pull on the throttle on the back engine and the front engine at the same time. So we've got 3 plumes of smoke coming from wherever. If we shut either engine off and the throttle is just gonna work, it's not gonna do anything. So I'm gonna test fit it, put it up there, and then we've got working throttle. Then I can actually drive this thing around. Here we go. All right, so I put the plate on there. I haven't hooked up the second engine yet, but you get the idea. And you also don't see much movement on the throttle, and that's because we have the wrong governor in our engine. It came off a generator. We need an on-road one. So I was hoping to find one at B&R. Nothing's come in the last little bit. So we did find one at another scrapyard, and they said as long as we put our governor in their engine, we can have their on-road governor. But this will work for today. I turned the idle down a little bit. You can tell in the earlier video it was revved up pretty high. And that little popping that you're hearing, the knock, it's just the exhaust leak, so I gotta get a gasket for that too yet. But before we smoke ourselves out, I don't like running it. For some reason this side is smoking a lot. I hope it just needs a good run, because it was the other side that's full of water, and that thing is as clean as a whistle. So 2-stroke Detroit, I guess. maybe we'll just add some water to this one and then see what happens. But I'll throw the drive shaft on. We've got the shutoff connected to the e-brake, so I can shift it, turn it, and stop it and rev it up from the cab now. So that's great. No brakes yet, and no wiring. We're waiting for some lights. They shipped, so we'll put some lights on it and finish wiring it. I'm wiring up the console. That'll all be in the next video, because we're going to do quite a bit of wiring to it. And then, but I don't need this thing inside for the wiring.
I can wire the console on a bench, and then we can get the cab over frame back in here and plug away on that too. So, drive shaft. I don't think I'm gonna lift it up because it just smokes too much. So just crawl under. I can take the brake off of that disc because it's not centered perfectly. I'll do that outside with the truck up in the direction. Decided to give this thing another bath. Also had a really good suggestion to put a toolbox down here and up in the box. I'll definitely be doing that too. That's odd.
So not getting into gear.
No. There we go. Okay, now it'll start. So I got a lot of nice stuff around in the yard, and we're gonna stop it right there because I don't want to crush anything. Also need to recheck the transmission fluid and check stuff in the daylight because we're not gonna be idiots. So that I call a success, and I get my shot back. And who knew, besides us and a bunch of Ukrainian farmers, how much of a mess a tank makes in your shop. So, oh, I was looking for that, and this, and I was looking for that, and oh, that's where that disc went.
How's the floor?
Look at that. No problem.
Zero issues.
Just the two bus. Oh, my ratchet. Oh, nice. Oh, and that extension, and this 18, and this. Oh, my Sharpie. I was really looking for that.